Hello, welcome into the starters. I'm Dave, that's Simon, and that's George. How's it going, boys?
Hello, David.
Happy to be here.
I'm digging the homeless A's hat. I
I'm
absolutely
uh,
like it.
I'm only here so I don't get fined, Dave. That's all.
Nice. Okay. Well, the fines are big. I do
Yeah.
find you guys quite a bit. So good to know. Let's jump right into it. Habs are in the midst of their off season. We talked last week about Sidney Crosby potentially coming to the team as a 2C. Now let's get into maybe a bit more realistic, little bit less dream scenarios, and see. I want to know. There's a plethora of names out there on the market, right? There's Barzal. There's Sam Bennett's a free agent. Bo Horvat. You never know what's going to happen with the Islanders. I just want to know, who would you target for the Habs at 2C?
Okay, so clearly you're hanging around with Sean Campbell on the regular 135. This question was posed to me when I was filling in for the lovely and talented Mitch Gallo on Campbell versus Gallo. And look, the obvious answer is always going to be with the greatest talent. We spoke about it last week. You know, guys like Sidney Crosby. I'd love to see it. At what price? And I don't believe right now it's a possibility. I think it's unrealistic. But I think guys like Barzal and maybe Horvat, maybe in play. Matt Duchene's a free agent or could be a free agent depending what happens with Dallas. So can John Tavares. I don't think John Tavares leaves Toronto. I think he plays for a much more affordable contract, probably eventually takes a seat in that front office. So I went looking, and the one guy that I circled, I did this about 3-4 months ago. I believe he's got 3 or 4 years left on his deal, $7 million, which is peanuts, considering the cap is going up to well over 100 million. Scored 35 goals last year. I don't know if he's available, but I'm willing to overpay for a short-term run with Nazem Kadri. He's a dog. I don't know what he does in the face-off dot. I don't care. It's the one thing I think in hockey that you can continue to get better on as your career goes along. You can start as a guy at 42, and you could probably work at it and get to 48. And if you're lucky enough, you can get to 50. I think it's exactly what they need in what they lacked in the postseason. If they were to play Ottawa, they would lack that again. I think if they played the Panthers, they would lack that again. There's a certain edge and physicality that they're a little bit of a dog they're missing. I think you can do the heavy lifting against Matthews, against Point, against Barkov, and take that responsibility away from Nick Suzuki. And I also think that you can slide Nick Suzuki with Demidov at that point, and you can go Slav, Cole Caulfield, Nazem Kadri. Because I don't think Demidov and Nazem Kadri is ideal just from a style standpoint. I think a guy like Matthew Barzal maybe makes more sense. Guy plays with pace, skill level, but again, maybe a little bit undersized, not healthy. So there's a couple of factors. But I'm not looking to find somebody to play a center to play with Demidov. The Canadians have that center, and he's just playing on the other line for now. But George has coached hockey. Dave, you've been thrown out of hockey games. So, you know, we've all played hockey. Maybe we've coached our sons and daughters. I've never met one single coach at any level of hockey that will not eventually take his best center and play him with his best winger. It's never happened in hockey. So the Demidov Suzuki, it's coming. Is it coming in October of 2025? December of 2025? It is coming. So I don't need somebody to play with Demidov. You have somebody that's going to play with Demidov. I think you need to find somebody on that second line. And sorry, I'm taking a lot of time here. Michael Hage, by the time he's ready, you're hoping to be in that number 2 spot. Next year, he's in NC2A hockey. The year after, maybe Laval. You slide him into a third line. And by the time Kadri or anybody else you get for 3-4 years, he's perfectly ready to slide into that role. So for me, Nazem Kadri checks a lot of boxes. I have no idea. Somebody in Calgary might be listening to this and saying, this is the stupidest thing they've ever heard. Maybe. But it's a name that I'd circle and I'd go after.
Love it. George?
Look, I like Nazem Kadri, and I do believe he's a good fit. However, I look at this logically, and I say to myself, I don't know what it would take for the Calgary Flames to give up Nazem Kadri. Does it take 2 first-round picks? And I don't know how much I'm willing to pay for Nazem Kadri. That being said, some good free agents out there. Matt Duchene makes a lot of sense. You know, he's got ties here to the area and the Ottawa area. So Matt Duchene not far from home. I think Matt Duchene is the kind of guy that can alleviate some of that pressure off Nick Suzuki when it comes to producing points. it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to get Matt Duchene. Would I like a Sam Bennett? Sure. But teams are going to pay big bucks for it because the DAWG that Simon is referring to, those are expensive. Calgary knows what they have. Florida knows they can't lose a guy like Bennett, So are you going to be able to get him on the cheap? No way, Jose. It's going to be expensive. And I don't see the Canadians doing that. So I'm going to say Matt Duchene is probably the best fit for being realistic, a realistic get for the Canadians.
The thing is with if you go after Kadri or you go after anybody with tenure, that's fine. But Matt Duchene was a point-a-game player this year. He's an excellent hockey player. He's still got plenty of. But the thing with me is 7 years, $9 million. I like it, but do I want to be connected to Matt Duchene for the next 7 years? He's a free agent. He's a point-a-game player. And the problem was with this. If you give him $8 million in Dallas, sure, he'll come to the Habs. But he's going to tell his accountant, what do I need to make in Montreal to give me this dollar in my pocket in Dallas? And it's probably going to be closer to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you on the Matt Duchene. But Matt Duchene might be here for 7 years.
So I think the issue though is when Kent Hughes is going to be looking to improve this hockey team in the summer, he looks, okay, well, what does it take to get Nazem Kadri here? And it takes assets. You got to give up something to get a player like that. What does it cost you to get Matt Duchene? It costs you cap space.
Yep.
Cap space. And that's the difference. That's why I think the Matt Duchene thing is a little bit more realistic.
All right, I love it, guys. I gave you guys 3 nice options, and you both went off the board. I absolutely love it.
I'd like anybody. I honestly would take Sam Bennett. I think is going to score in the open market.
Oh, he's going to make big bucks.
He'll get overpaid. He'll get overpaid.
He's going to get overpaid.
Give me Matt Duchene. Give me John Tavares. Give me Bo Horvat. Give me any name.
I'll take any of those guys too.
Any one of those guys. Look, Bo Horvat's locked into a long-term deal as well. Barzal needs to stay healthy. There's no perfect fit. I'm just looking at the Kadri because I'm in and out in 3-4 years.
Bennett and Horvat have injury concerns as well, right? They've both have had
like
injuries.
Horvat, but this is the thing. Like I said, if it's not Demidov and it's Slav and Lanny and Cole Caulfield, that's a guy who's never gotten over 50 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for offense. So that's why I was enticed by the Matt Duchene, Matthew Barzal.
Sure.
I'm looking for guys to push offense. And there's nothing wrong with Sam Bennett. He will be representing Canada at the next Olympics. The guy is a dog. He scored big goals at the Four Nations. He scored big goals in the playoffs. The man is built for the big moment. But again, 50 points, $8-9 million, 7-8 years.
Fair enough.
That's tough.
Gotta agree.
Very true. All right, and we'll end with the a little bit of a fun question. It's been a bit of a debate on Reddit and social media and stuff. Sports fans, a lot of sports fans, they tend to use, I know in the journalism world, this is frowned upon and it's a big no-no, but a lot of sports fans, they use we and us and we're going to win tonight and they did this and he's coming over to us. I just want to know, sports fan, we need to be better. There you go. Sports fan using we and us, yay or nay?
Listen, I catch myself doing it every now and again. I think it's a normal fan kind of reaction. But I don't work in the front office with Montreal Canadiens, and I can tell you I've never played a game for them. So I get if anybody gets annoyed if I say we or us, So I'm going to say it's a nay with the caveat that, sometimes we all do it. And I've done it many a times, and I've caught myself doing it, saying, shouldn't have said that. But, listen, I'm a fan as well as a guy that likes to talk about sports. So I think at the end of the day, I am going to give myself and everybody else a pass on it, but I believe it's a nay.
David?
Yes.
Anybody getting hurt by anybody saying we and us?
No, not at all.
Life is full of restrictions. let fans be fans. That's all. Don't cross the line. Don't do any stupidities. I find for myself, Darren Dreger has called me out because I said it one time. But I do believe it's a Canadiana culture thing. I think I hate it. I hate that I have to pretend like my entire life. Like if you look at my office here, it's Maurice Richard, signed autograph, Jose Vidro, and Vlad Guerrero, and it's a picture of me and Sidney Crosby at the keg. Shout out Sidney. Like I'm supposed to pretend like I'm not a fan. Like I don't understand. Like I watch PTI. Michael Wilbon could be a Bears fan. He could be a Cubs fan. I watch Get Up. Mike Greenberg is a diehard Jets fan. Stephen A is a diehard, I think he's a diehard Knicks fan. Like in America, you can cheer for your teams and still spew the content. In Canada, it's so frowned upon. Or nobody cheers for anybody. So how did you get into this industry if you don't cheer for somebody? That's all I want. If you work for TSN, Sportsnet, ESPN, Fox Sports, Sky Sports, how did you get in this industry if you don't cheer for somebody? Now, I can be critical of my wife. I can be critical of my children. George, Dave, your kids are still too young for you to freak out over a 58 in math. So I love them to death, but I can still be critical of them. I love the Habs. I do. But there's holes. They need to be better at second line center position. There's a couple of players they need to move on from. So I don't know. This is a Canadiana thing that we can't do it and it's frowned upon. And I just watch American sports television, whatever ESPN is showing on TSN. I see guys cheering for this. I see like the ex-Cowboys on ESPN. Dude, they show up dressed like Cowboys sometimes. Like it's ridiculous. Like Damian Woody talks about the Patriots, his love for the Patriots. So Gronkowski talks about his love for the Patriots on, I believe he's on CBS or whatever it is. So if you're a fan, us, that's fine. Don't burn jerseys. Don't burn jerseys. That's not your jersey. That's a jersey the Rocket and Belleville wore. That's not your jersey. You just bought it and you're borrowing it. So that you can do. But we and us is absolutely fine. Maybe less for a broadcaster. I don't know, but
just a clarification. They come dressed as cowboys. We're talking like they're actual cowboys.
Cowboys, like you just got off a horse.
Got it. Okay.
Like you just got out of the saloon or something. I don't know. They got into
understood. Okay. Yeah.
Bang bang, tombstone style. You know.
Okay. Yeah, a duel. We call that a duel, I believe, back in the day. That's a
horse.
duel.
Wrap the horse around the thing, right around the leg.
High noon in the saloon. Yes.
So,
okay.
Yes.
Got it.
Nobody's getting hurt. Let a fan be a fan. Don't worry about it.
Crazy. Okay.
I love it. I love that take because a lot of people are like, they kind of gatekeep us. You can't do that. You can't do this. But at the end of the day, man, like long-suffering Habs fans and Leaf fans and any fan of any they've been with the team more than the players. They've been.
It's true. They probably care more than the players sometimes.
Tell a guy living in London, England, as a Gunners fan or a Hotspur fan, go tell somebody in Manchester that if he says "we" when he's talking about United, it's frowned upon. It is simply a Canadiana thing. That's it. You go to Greece and you watch Olympiacos basketball or soccer, Panathinaikos. They are we and us 1,000%. It's a Canadiana thing and nothing else.
All right. I love it, guys. Thank you very much again for coming on. And stay tuned. Make sure to follow us at the Starters 690. We'll have content all there. Interact with our comments. Drop us some comments. And be sure to tune into the Starters, of course, every Saturday and Sunday, 10 to noon on TSN 690. Thanks, boys.
Ciao, boys.
Have a good night.